etc. Blah, 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 blah. Currently, right now, I'm reading State and Revolution by Lenin. I would recommend Class, Women, and Race, Women, and Class. Women, Race, Class, and Women. I don't know. By Angela Davis. Angela Davis is just beautiful and great. I love her. Her writing's so good.
Liberty is a wonderful thing. The American Constitution says so, right in the preamble.
Wrong. I don't know what's wrong. I just feel the need to disagree.
The framers established the Constitution to...
You're reading State and Revolution? Hell yeah. I also want to read Capitalism, Capital Realism, or something like that.
Secure the blessings of liberty. So...
Well, the neoliberal state that was founded after the revolution was to secure the capital, or was secure liberty for the capitalist class, not necessarily for all people. That was just like...
Right in the preamble.
Idea.
The framers established the Constitution to secure the blessings of liberty. So
that makes no sense.
So why doesn't that offer a clear answer to most of the constitutional questions that face America today?
Right, who is this guy? Eugene Bullock. Eugene Bullock. Eugene Bullock. UCLA Law. Ukrainian-American legal scholar known for his scholarship in American constitutional law and libertarianism, as well as his prominent legal blog, Vulture Conspiracy. He is a Gary T. Schwartz Professor of Law at the UCLA School of Law and is academic affiliate with the law firm Mayer Brown. Let me go to his controversies, if they have any. Politics. Only described politically conservative or libertarian. Yep, free the market, free the people. Bam! 2012, one commander described as soft libertarian. Unpredictable libertarian leaning. Supported former Tennessee Senator Fred Thompson, saying Thompson had good instincts on legal issues. Is this the guy running? Wait a minute. You can't be a libertarian and support a lobbyists. I mean, I guess you can, but it's still weird. And political speech should also like Thomas' position on individual conduct. No, that takes federalism seriously. All right. Hey, he's a supporter of same-sex marriage. That's surprising.
Aren't lawmakers who swear to uphold the Constitution obliged by their oaths to vote for liberty?
It's not necessarily to uphold the Constitution, it's to amend and change and interpret the Constitution.
The problem is that liberty, like equality or justice, is a complicated idea that means different things to different people.
This is in itself true.
Consider, for instance, one simple question.
But normally, like, if it's not hard to find a common answer.
Whom do we want liberty from?
Aha. Who do we want liberty from?
Well,
I want liberty from corporations.
Liberty from a
that own the government, so liberty from the government.
Tyrannical government. That's why we have a Bill of Rights. And that's why the Constitution was designed to impose powerful constraints on the federal government and eventually state governments. But we also want liberty from foreign tyrants, right? What's the point of having a government that won't oppress us if it can't protect us from foreign invaders who would oppress us even more?
This is such a dumb idea that there's just like other countries out there who want to oppress us when we are the global superpower. We are the oppressors of other states, of other countries. We oppress the majority of the global south. You made the three of us go on a huge discussion in gender abolition last night. Nice. I want to talk about that.
That's why the preamble also says the Constitution is set up to,
like, providing the common defense. I don't know the exact like interpretation or the reason for writing it, but it's essentially like, at the time, maybe sure, from like outside or other European invasions who were not trying to just come here and kill our people, but who wanted access to the capital that we wanted to manifest. So That's what it means by the common defense of the capital and resources. But it's completely stupid to try to lecture on the idea that we are at any real threat of outside invasions that are not directly resulting from our own actions overseas and our imperialistic tendencies as a state.
Provide for the common defense. Yet to protect ourselves against foreign tyranny, we may need to restrict domestic liberty.
Not necessarily. No. I don't know.
At the very least, the government has to impose taxes to pay for
in that sense, yes. However, those taxes
restrict domestic liberty.
Those taxes should be used to promote domestic liberty, e.g., the liberty of life, which seems like a really fundamental one that everyone's entitled to. But you know, whatever. I really hope he's just making a case against government spending on the military. Because right now I feel like he's going to advocate for taxes only going to the military. My prediction is he's going to be like, taxes are good if they go to the military to help defend our country. But they're bad when it takes away choice of what healthcare you can choose. And I'm going to slap myself in the face and cry.
Liberty. At the very least, the government has to impose taxes to pay for the military. Throughout American history,
I mean, technically, like, we were never supposed to have the military that we have right now. It was genuinely supposed to be like a series of militias. The federal army wasn't a thing that, like, a federal military wasn't something that was necessarily like important to our founding fathers. It was actually kind of like not a good thing because it's can be seen as oppression. It would be more of a state thing, but also it wouldn't be used to. The federal government essentially came to. When was there was a time? When was the first time the U.S. military used against? We're gonna do some history. Oh man. Okay, this is not. God damn it. Essentially, there's this one time I think it had to do with like rum, where these like rural Southerners like didn't want to, I think, give up their rum or something. It wasn't during Prohibition, but whoever the president was just like sent the troops and to like make them like stop doing whatever they're doing. And George Washington was still alive, and he's like, yo, guys, what the hell are we doing?
Government has also
that's the history lesson.
been seen as having the power to draft men to fight in wars. That's certainly a restriction on individual liberty, but it's long been.
Damn, bro, maybe we shouldn't be imperialistic and get into wars that we have no reason to be in. That would probably give a lot of liberty to a lot of people, including the ones who don't live in America.
Seen as consistent with the Constitution. We can see other examples too. The Fourth Amendment.
I'm sorry, I hate his face. I hate his face so much.
And bans unreasonable searches and seizures. That's a powerful protection for liberty. But it doesn't ban all searches and seizures. Reasonable ones are allowed.
You know who advocated for I forget the name of it, but it essentially is like what allowed people like Breonna Taylor to get shot by the police. It was Biden. Joseph Biden.
That's in part so the law can better protect us from criminals intruding on our liberty.
Yeah, well, no, it's not. No, that's like wrong. It's really just to arrest more black people, but yeah.
Likewise, the Fifth Amendment provides that private property shall not be taken for public use without just compensation.
This is stupid and I hate it. God, why do I keep...
But that means that sometimes your property can be taken for public use with compensation. However much this limits your liberty to, say, continue living in your family house that has been condemned to make room for a highway. Sometimes liberty does yield to public benefit. What's more,
That's such a bad phrase. Sometimes liberty does yield to public benefit. Because it's not liberty yielding, it's liberty being expanded to more people.
everyone agrees that my liberty doesn't extend to violating your rights. But where do my rights stop and yours start?
I feel like we're about to get
Constitution
into a
itself
really shady area of philosophy and racism.
doesn't tell us, since it lists pretty much just those rights.
Jesus Christ.
Here's something we can all agree. My rights stop and yours start. The Constitution itself doesn't tell us, since it lists pretty much just those rights that are protected against government intrusion, like the free exercise of religion. People disagree about what rights should be protected from.
So libertarians would probably advocate for... The reason they're libertarians is because I want to impose themselves and take away rights from people, because technically it's not the government doing it.
From supposed intrusion by others, for instance by employers, or by large businesses that might try to stifle competition.
Yep, called it. Called it. Called it. They don't want poor people to live, but they do want them to live just enough to work, and then they can die.
So what do we do about this? How do we resolve all these hard questions about liberty?
I don't know.
First,
I have an idea, though. I have my thoughts.
the framers of the Constitution explicitly protected certain liberties, such as the freedom of speech and the right to keep and bear arms. Second, the framers gave the courts
True.
a major role in defining the scope of those liberties.
True.
Third, the framers set up the structures of government, such as separation of powers, that would help protect liberty by making sure that no single branch of government could unduly restrict liberty.
All right. According to Lenin, all of this is irrelevant and arbitrary because this is a government, a state that came out of the came to fruition simply to benefit the economically dominant class at the time, to continue and to allow the oppression of the not dominant class or the dominated class. So at the time, the economically dominant class were white male landowners, and the dominated class with literal slaves, in addition to other forms of servitude, indentured servitude, for example. Now, the best part about all of this is that no matter how many checks and balances, no matter how many chances we have to elect officials, it's still interesting. The capitalist class, they are the ones who are benefiting the most, because the system of government is in place with the only goal, and I mean it, the only goal, to mitigate the antagonisms that are not going to go away, but to continue to keep them down and to really just like carrot on a string. And that happens through dividing the class into not only territories, like physical locations of rural and metro and from Alabama or from Vermont, whatever, but on physical appearance, economic, and race. So it is through this that all of what he's talking about, all the illusion of our social, of our democratic republic party or system or democracy is irrelevant to us and will never benefit the majority of workers, because it is put in place as an entity that is separate and above the two classes to mitigate the class antagonisms in favor and always in favor of the economically oppressive class.
But then, fourth, they left the rest of the debate about liberty to the political process. Indeed, even the gravest...
Which is still just a illusion, that gives us the sense that we have a say in our politics. When in America, the only people who have a say in our politics are the people that the capitalists want to have a say in our politics.
Violation of basic natural liberty in American history, slavery, was ultimately abolished by the political process, as well as, of course, by the Civil War, which was started and conducted by elected officials. The framers also
Guys, my COVID results just came back.
believed that most decisions in people's lives would not and should not be made by the government. They should be made by ordinary people. Which job to take, which business to start, whom to associate with.
I feel like I don't even need to debunk this. This is very stupid. I don't know what he's doing. I like his piggy bank. Oh, I thought it was a normal pig. It's a piggy bank. This is very stupid because I mean, hey, you have the freedom to choose whatever media you want to watch, but you're still going to be watching the same 4 parent companies. You have the freedom to choose whatever food you want to buy, but you're still buying from the same, like, 12 or so food companies. And this is worldwide, not just America. America is significantly smaller choice. So no, you don't have that. No. I'd argue that freedom, that the liberty being taken away by these massive corporations is worse because it allows people to not see see it happening in front of them.
With how much to sell or buy things for, and innumerable other choices. The American experience has been that we are on balance richer, safer, and freer when those
Wait, what?
decisions are made outside the government.
No. See, no, because slavery, the thing you were just talking about, it was the government that was set up by the oppressive ruling class to allow for black people to be held as literal chattel slaves. So that is both private and through the government, because the government works for them.
By individuals pursuing their own dreams and their own self-interest.
Yeah, have fun starting your business and then having it be taken over by a bigger business. Also, like, it's not individuals. Like, I'm sorry, but if you didn't have your dad's emerald mine money to start your electric car company, which you didn't even start, you fought for in court, you wouldn't be able to do that ever. If you didn't have $500,000 from your parents to invest in a really dumb idea at the time of buying and selling things on the internet, which no one knew if that would ever come to fruition. No one knows what the internet was at the time. And you're like, hey, mom and dad, give me $500,000 and I will try not to mess this up. Most people don't have that money. So no, it's, if you're rich, you can pursue your dreams because you have room to fail. If you're not rich, you don't, because you will die if you fail.
But when it came to most tough questions about what restrictions on liberty are necessary, outside those walled off by the Constitution, the framers left those questions to be decided by the democratic process.
Yep,
It's
is
my
a
view
sham.
that the government should generally impose as few restrictions as possible, whether on people's personal lives or their economic lives.
So do you think that the government should not kill innocent civilians? Do you think that the government should just step aside and let literally like 2 organizations or 2 companies control all the fruit?
Lives. Others disagree. Should we have smaller government? Should we have bigger government? Ultimately, in the system the framers created, these disagreements would have to be resolved by we the people.
That's stupid and cringy. It'd be resolved by revolution, dumbass. Kidding. Not kidding. Revolution. Revolution now.